If you have a battery incident, that is, your battery goes dead, before you go to take the SMOG test, don't. Because when your battery goes dead, the sensors that are collecting data on how your car performs lose that data. So then you have to give them time to regroup, to collect more data. And that requires you do what's called a drive test. My apologies. It's called a drive cycle. This was the result of the first SMOG test. Not ready. So the engine's not ready. The sensors weren't ready. OBDH, and catalyst sensors. And so I will share with you some of the things I did to help make it ready. Some thoughts. After the first SMOG test failed, he said, it's not ready. Go drive it 40 to 60 miles on the freeway and then come back and we'll test it again. And the second test is free because that's what happens in this particular location. Second test is free. So I did. He also put air in my tire because it was low on the pressure, and he said, take that tire to the tire shop right away. I didn't. The second SMOG test went the same way. Engine not ready. He said, I'm going to show you how to do a drive test, and then you go and take your car out, do the same thing, and bring it back. I won't charge you unless it passes the SMOG. And then in that case, it would be $40 for the retest, and the SMOG certificate would be extra. I think it's $8. My apologies.
To do the drive test, you're supposed to start the car, neutral,
Press this button for a super-duper long time while looking at this screen. At some point, there'll be an engine that flashes. You have to press the button and keep it held down for a bit. And what that does is it resets the readings so that you can go out and drive your car for about 40 minutes at 60 miles per hour on the freeway. It's not an easy thing to do in Southern California because there's so much traffic. He gave me some other tips. He said, leave a quarter tank of gas in your car when you're doing it, or do it when you have a quarter tank of gas in your car. And then he said to go 60 miles an hour, you find a truck and drive behind it so that you don't have to worry about people trying to speed. He says 60 miles per hour is the kind of sweet spot on the speed. I tried taking it out on the freeway a few weekday mornings, but it was a mess. There was too much traffic. So I couldn't get it done. I kept pushing it, and the SMOG Tech was only going to be there on Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. So that was kind of a mess too. Trying to line up the test and have it ready for when he was going to be there to do the free retest unless I passed. I should have listened to the SMOG Tech. Flat tire. The tow guy says that he thinks that maybe it was a little low, and then I hit a bump. It's possible. The new tire for a car that I might have ended up donating, $180. I should have just taken it to the tire shop when the SMOG Tech told me to. I also used STP cleaner in the fuel tank. I don't think I used it the right way. It says add to the fuel tank when you're at about a quarter tank. And then I did that, but then I filled the tank after that. I think I was supposed to add the cleaner to the quarter tank and then drive the car, which makes sense, right? But duh.
The car, because I kind of knew from previous cars that putting good gas in the car, and I kind of got sold on the Chevron with Techron being cleaner gas sort of thing, and I think it might have helped me to pass SMOGs before, so I said okay.
Finally, I was ready to take it in for the free third test. The SMOG Tech had said he would give me a free third test. If it passed, I would pay the $40 for the retest plus the cost of the certificate. It didn't pass. He said, take it to the mechanic.
The mechanic at the garage said it's going to be too expensive to replace the catalytic converter. So she said just put some good gas in it, 91 octane, go to Mobil, she suggested, and I went to Chevron because Chevron with Techron. But she said go to Mobil or one of the good gas companies and put 91 octane and drive your car. So I did. The gal at the mechanic shop told me, go put some good gas in it and drive it more. She said, you do not want to do this repair because the catalytic converter, the part alone, costs over $1,000. So it'd be like $2,000 to do the repair on a 180,000 plus mile car that has some dings in it.
The difference this time was that she said use the highest octane. So instead of using 87 octane, because I was always trying to budget on the gas, and these Chevron Mobil gas stations are pretty expensive, but I bumped it up to 91 octane.
Autozone. This is where I came to get the Cataclean. I also bought some STP fuel additive that I didn't think I used it right. So see, it's on buy one get one free. I used 2 bottles of it, and I also used some other fuel cleaner. Step 3, use the catalytic converter cleaner and drive 10 to 15 miles and before filling up. So you want to do this when the fuel is at a quarter tank or less, and thankfully my fuel is at a quarter tank, so you can see it there, so I can do it, and I'm going to do it now. It's called Cataclean, and if it's going to clean your catalytic converter, this is how you do it. Empty it into the quarter tank and drive 10 to 15 miles. I've used a lot of additives recently trying to get this thing to pass the smog, but this is the first time they said, well, and maybe I didn't talk to somebody, put it into a quarter tank and drive 10 to 15 miles on the freeway before filling up.
I'd considered using the Cataclean again just to kind of be sure, but I decided not to because it was $35 a bottle. And I thought, well, if I get it done at a second pass or don't pay, and then I still get a second attempt. So rather than spend $35 times 5, because I saw online, you can do it multiple times in sequence, just keep doing it. But it's $35 a pop, and that's too much for my wallet.
Back at the SMOG check station, this is a different one because it's open on Sundays, and he tested to see if it's ready to be tested, and it's ready. So that's a step ahead. And we passed. Pass, 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 pass. Pass, 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 and a pass. Pass. As said.
Drive cycle for 1996 and newer vehicle. Mostly you need to get that complete for passing your SMOG check, okay? The most basic thing, and you might have to rinse and repeat this, is take that car, drive it at night when there's no traffic, no construction, no high-speed chases, no police brakes, anything to break your stride. Go 60 miles per hour for 60 minutes. No need to speed. But you need to get that car out and establish conditions it needs to run and complete these monitors before you're going to be able to get through that 96 and newer SMOG check.
Okay, thank you, Oz. I'll have to come to you first next time.
Holla.
Google search.
Okay, well, a nice thing that you can do if you're technologically inclined is Google the vehicle's year, make, model, and the two words drive cycle. You'll receive several returns on your search. You should explore at least 3 of them, compare and contrast, and always understand that just because you got these steps, you might have to rinse and repeat these actions in order to satisfy this drive cycle requirement.
Thank you, Oz. Oz, about the OBD2 scanner?
Having an OBD2 scanner is good advice for anybody who's got a vehicle 1996 and newer. So you can communicate with the car. It's great for when you're trying to complete the drive cycle, go into inspection maintenance, and you can tell when the monitor's complete and when you can stop driving. The other thing is if a check engine light happens to pop on, regardless of smog, check engine light pops on, you immediately can pull that code or codes, most of the time it's going to be a code, and get the most up-to-date information as to why the light came on. When you ride around with the light on for extended period, the car might throw ghost codes that are irrelevant, car going a little haywire. You want to address a check engine light as soon as possible, find out why it's on, and then decide if it's important or not to repair. Inspection maintenance mode
On your OBD2 scanner.
OBD2 scanner, and you can monitor the monitors and see if there's anything on a 96 and newer car right now here in the end of 2024, 96 to 99 year vehicle. You can have any one incomplete monitor and pass your SMOG. If it's a 2000 and newer vehicle, you may only have the low pressure EVAP monitor incomplete to pass the SMOG. Everything else must be complete. Oxygen sensor, catalytic converter, EGR if it's applicable, or VVT or whatever, and a host of other ones that generally complete when you run the car for the first few minutes. They should complete.
Nice.
But yeah, you only allowed an incomplete EVAP on a 2000 and newer car. On a 96 to 99, any one incomplete monitor. Again, here in 2024, states at liberty to change the rules whenever they get ready.